that lately that's been my thing where I've been like, yo, more games just need to let the players choose, right? Whether it's the Skullgirls joint, right? When we heard the censorship stuff, like, hey, let it be a toggle. Let the player choose. Like, make it available and just let them choose, right? It's their preference, right? They're playing the game. Let them get played to their preference. You know, now, and these guys adding that kind of preference to the gameplay, I was like, that's awesome. That is like one of the greatest things I think you could have done. I would have hate to have seen it like be so jagged where you can't be flexible, because this one kind of lured us in without realizing it, man. So come Evo time, I don't know if they're gonna make this kind of the tradition, because, you know, Cannon Brothers, founders of Evo and such, and now they're the ones that are leading the Riot game Project L, the League of Legends fighter game, and they decided to drop us a just an entire update, developer update, and an embargo dropped as well, so a lot of content creators got to drop a lot of footage that same day, but we finally get to have a more in-depth look on the game mechanics for the game. We already knew a lot of things, such as it being, you know, a 2v2 fighter. We didn't know to what extent certain mechanics were going to be, but they gave us an all-encompassing, about 3 minutes, I want to say, it's like 3 minutes of some change video that lets us know everything about the system at this point. Once again, everything here is just a current build. You know, things could change, things could flip, but this is what we get right now. So let's just jump into it. So we got our what is titled intro dual play trailer, yeah, it was interesting, man. It was about 3.5 minutes of some really good stuff. So we get to finally know, okay, it's a team-based game. We understood that, but we didn't realize it was gonna be, it was a tag game, but we didn't know to the extent of, like, is it going to be team based, like your MK9 like tag team battle, Tekken tag, right, to a degree, right? Because wait, did Tekken tag actually have like multiple people on it on a team? Could you do that, or was it always just
Tekken?
Excuse me, when I say Tekken tag, I meant, yeah, Street Fighter X Tekken for sure, definitely did. But actually, that's a good question. Did Tekken tag have that? I don't believe it did, right?
Tag, I don't think so. Not the original, because you need a multi-tap,
yes,
and then that'll take too much time to.
Yes, KOF also did, and Dragon Ball FighterZ did also more recently has had that too. But we just weren't sure if they were going to go that route. But luckily, it isn't just that route, right? So they went really quick on stating, hey, it's very built from the ground up for 2v2. It's based a lot on having teamwork, but that does not mean you can't play this game as a 1v1. You can, you know, traditional versus series style, or even 2v1, which I thought was really cool. So it's like, okay, cool. You're giving options. And actually, a good note, Strive did also have something like that. It had like a dramatic battle thing that we have yet to realize what the hell's going on with that.
That was for PS5 instead of PS4.
But did that ever come out?
Yeah, I believe so. It was only on PS5.
Oh, it was just arcade. Like arcade. Okay, it was just arcade. Oh, okay, yeah, all right. Put that to the list of things that we might see updates in at Evo from.
I was about to say, we still had those issues from Sega Saturn days. Like, Sega Saturn couldn't play X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Yeah, those days.
PlayStation could.
Yeah.
Like, could swap. So weird.
If it was the same characters. But anyway, that's in the past. We're looking to the future here. So, Project L, they like I said, they broke it down and told us, you know, hey, you can play together or, you know, 1v2 and all that, which I was like, that's awesome. That lately, that's been my thing where I've been like, yo, more games just need to let the players choose, right? Whether it's the Skullgirls joint, right? When we heard the censorship stuff, like, hey, let it be a toggle. Let the player choose. Like, make it available and just let them choose, right? It's their preference, right? They're playing the game. Let them get played to their preference. You know, now, and these guys adding that kind of preference to the gameplay, I was like, that's awesome. That is like one of the greatest things I think you could have done. I would have hate to have seen it like be so jagged where you can't be flexible, because maybe sometimes, listen, man, maybe you're just really good at fighting games. You don't got a homie that's on your level. You got to carry. You're the iron, you know, you got to carry the iron players, the bronze players, or you just, you know, don't want to make it sad and fucking down in the dug. Maybe you don't got no friends. It's all good. It's all good. Or at least don't let that be, you know, prevent you from being able to play and enjoy a game.
Or not just that. Like, I was hanging out with you today, and we were, imagine if we had Project L and just, hey, let's get on and beat somebody up, or just beat each other. I don't know.
Like, yeah. So instantly, That whole 2v1 thing came up, the 2v2. That already had me thinking on the spot how tournaments could run, what could potentially be the norm. Like, obviously, you know, they're probably going to go towards the, okay, 1v1's probably going to be the go-to format, which is perfectly fine. But I actually went out to a couple subreddits. I went to a couple of Discords and just asked the question. I'm like, yo, 2v2, 2v1, and 1v1 being formats to play in for Project L. Let's actually post this up right here. Do you think tournaments should allow any format to run through a bracket? Like, can you make a singles run through a mostly duos bracket, right? Even if you don't have a partner, can you just, is a tournament allowing a mix and match of it? And I really just wanted to ask people, because that's what I thought. That's the first thing that came to my mind when I thought about it. And shout outs to subreddit project_L. You know, it's kind of a spot where you want to go to get a lot of information. There is also a Discord. I don't think it's the same Discord that's attached to this subreddit, but there's another one that is just an all-encompassing spot for all things Project L. And you know, I've gotten some awesome answers. Shout outs once again to the community, stating things like, you know, it could be a work it out yourself kind of thing. Maybe the main tournament is whatever, but they'll always be dedicated like 2v2 side tournaments to promote the social aspect of it. Maybe it will make people feel like 2v2 is automatically lesser. That comes from Gamma RKT Rocked Gamma Rocked. Oh, Gamma Rocked, maybe that's his name. Solo and duo should be in one bracket, from Super Calcurat. They're not, you know, it's really all over the place, but the whole point was to really ask the question and see what people are thinking, because I thought it would be great, like, to, you know, because you got to understand, like, now it being a 2v2 game, there's a lot of logistical things that come from that, right? Whether it's for tournaments in terms of layouts, you know, in terms of your venue space, maybe not the major so much, like your CEOs and like your combos and evos, like it doesn't really matter as much. They have all this space, but maybe, you know, your more smaller ones or growing scenes. You know, a 2v2 makes it now you can kind of like, you have more of an ability to bring someone. So maybe you're going to see an uptick in people showing up, because maybe now a friend didn't want to go, but then they're like, yo, you and me, come on, man, let's try that new setup and stuff. And you're getting people to go means more people are going to show up, which is a great thing, right? So numbers are going to start going up. But, you know, my main thing is like, oh, well, maybe someone gets sick. Like, maybe if something happens, maybe someone can't make the tournament out. Is your tournament run completely dead now because it was 2v2 and, you know, you're not allowed to do a 1v2? I think it should be open. Yeah, right. I didn't learn that character. I think it should be overall like open. It should be available to do any combination, because I think that's what's going to give you, for one, the biggest tournament, right? And give you and open it up to the most amount of competitors in whatever format will show up. And, you know, as they were stating in the video, they were building it up from the ground up to be that way. No matter who's behind the wheel, whether it is two people or if it's one person, it's built to be played either or. But that still doesn't mean you can't.
Those three answers at the top of your post there, they all make a good point. Yeah. Like, work it out yourself kind of thing. Think soloed around the whole thing. And then it's like, but wait, if they're running their own thing, should we go by what they say we should go by? And that's the hardest thing we can figure out right now. I mean, we don't have a release date. I'm sure we will get a big old trailer, unless this is just their announcement. Like we heard in a Discord of ours, someone said, maybe they don't have an announcement. Maybe this is their sort of announcement. They don't have anything leading for after Evo, unless there's a beta announcement. I mean, something. I mean, we saw that people have played it. So I'm sorry if I'm jumping ahead, but like, we won't know this stuff until we get all of that. So it's good to perceive, but I think we don't want to put our expectations too high. Granted, they've already kind of exceeded.
They're already doing very well. Yeah, they're already kind of making those the bar is getting set pretty high. But once again, if you want to join in on the conversation, go check it out. Project_L for the subreddit, and I have it on another Discord. I'll post it up in our Discord about it if you guys want to jump in on that conversation. But there's much more. Okay, I got hit with Runeterra right afterwards. I guess I've been doing too much League of Legends looking. I got hit into Runeterra, even though I have that literally in the background of my arcade right now. So the other aspect they brought up, man, were essentially, which I think you'd appreciate this, is grooves. right? Or like you know, the type of assist style that you can have in the game. So think of it like grooves or gems for my, you know, Infinity Stone styles for my Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite cats out there, right? Where your assist is dictated by a certain type of, I guess, assist type, right? You think of it even like, you know, even Marvel 2 wise, right? Or even any of the Marvel series, your Gamma, your Beta, your Alphas, whatever they may be, right? Different styles. But this is more on how the assists interact in terms of the system, right? Some of them, you know, they said we've got double down, which combines your ult with your partners, which they didn't show it off, but just from reading it, you could tell that's definitely that's like what is it? Oh my god, DHC, where you can not delayed hyper combo, but it's like when you can do both at the same time. I guess just it's just is it still what is that actually called?
Cross assault type deal?
Not cross assault. It looks like I said combine your ult with your partner, so I'm assuming it's just like a multi super hitting. So it's like group super, like you do in Marvel 3, right? Then you've got your 2x assist where you can Team Super. Yeah, maybe that's what I'm talking about. It might be Team Super. I'm thinking there's like another. I'm thinking of delayed hyper combo. I'm thinking of the acronyms, but yeah, I think it's just Team Super. Then you got 2x assist, will let you actually have the same assist do like 2 actions within their call, right? You can have a charging of it, and then they can do the other assist while doing it, so you can kind of extend your combo twice. There's obviously going to be differences between the playstyles, the scaling, all that kind of good stuff, and you know, it's going to dictate your playstyle, and it leaves it up to you as the player to what you can figure out on top of then the combination of characters. This is the kind of shit that we needed to have for this to be creative, not creative, but right, to have like a lot of depth naturally, right? Where naturally a player could just try different style teams with different assist types and create like something unique to them, or create crazy tech for different situations. Like it needed to be there. A system had to be robust enough to do that, and I think this is a good foundation to do it. How are you feeling about it?
So I've been watching, as you know, like the embargo lifted, everybody was sort of covering it who was a content creator such as Diaphone, Justin Wong, Max, all of them, JM Crofts. I've watched his take on it, and I mean, how do I say it? With the grooves stuff, I do agree that it adds a layer. I'm not trying to be no negative Nancy here either. It does add an extra layer, and then there was like what was the other one? Not double down. What was double down? Was the one with the 2 supers, but the other one is assist, sort of like assist followed by assist, right?
Yeah, 2x assist. Yeah.
So with that, I don't know if I didn't pay attention too much, or can you, if your teammate, let's say you and I are playing, are you controlling the assist?
I believe you're talking about I think it's handshake tag is the ones when you can bring out the other assists for like whatever actions you need, and you control them, and then you can swap back, kind of like cross tag, like in X second, where you can swap back and forth. That's but if
I call you as an assist, your character as an assist, do you have to input?
No. I believe that's normal. Yeah, I believe that's normal, because that'd be a little too wild.
Right. Okay. So then it's like, oh, am I tagged in? No. Okay. I might eat my pizza. Then I'll wait. And then, and then come back in. Yeah.
Oh, the content ideas are great. I love it. I love it. I love the content ideas.
You shook my hand. My hand is busy. What do I do?
I need you to focus, man. Stop tweeting. Yeah. Or stop X. Is it still a tweet if it's X now? Actually, I just thought about that.
I don't know the exact name of it, but yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Imagine that gangster shit. You're on stage and some you tag your homie in, and that's when you already have like a pre-prep tweet, and you're just like taking a picture of them as they're doing the combo. And you're like, yeah, my man's sick. And then you tweet it, and then you're like, all right, get me back in. Seating, thank you.
Yep.
But yeah. So we got to get shown off a lot of those mechanics, which was great. And then obviously there were other aspects of it. Of course, like you said, a handshake tag where you can actually switch and control that character. Whether it doesn't matter whether you're playing with someone or it's a 1v1 and it's just you solo dolo. It's like your traditional versus game, where you can control the character. But other aspects like the save, right? I think it was called. I just want to verify to make sure I got the right terminology for the save itself. The burst of this game, basically. I think it's dynamic save is what it's called currently. It could be changed up. But dynamic save and such can be blocked. It can be baited. So it's like very similar to burst. So it's available even if like your character is not, your assist is knocked out or one of the characters knocked out. It's not like if you KO one character, like you lose system mechanics, because that would be extremely broken. That would just be like, like you would just go all in on the first hit to cash out in order to make your opponent not have system mechanics, like defensive measures. It would be terrible. So I know some people were like, that's kind of weird. They were KO'd and then they're coming in and you can still assist call and all. I believe you can still assist call. I'll double check my math on that one, but at least the dynamic save and stuff is still available, even if they're knocked out.
I'd hate